Welcome, my little couch potatoes, to the comfiest courtroom on the internet. I'm your host, Llama, and it's time for dramatic testimony, overruled objections, and absolutely unqualified opinions. So grab your snuggiest blanket, some delicious snacks, and get ready to watch court with your internet besties. This is Couch Court with Llama.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Hold on. We got some court stuff going on. Just a second. Don't want us to miss anything. Hi. Oh boy, you guys. They're bringing the jury in. If you didn't know, a couple hours ago, the jury sent a note saying they were deadlocked. I have it paused right now so that way I don't get any spoilers. They sent a note about 2 hours ago saying that they were deadlocked. 6-6 is what the jury said. So the judge sent them back into deliberates, and they just came back to the judge with another note that they are deadlocked. So they're bringing them in now. Let's see what's going to happen. They're either going to come back tomorrow or the judge may declare a mistrial. So let's see what it is together, shall we? Okay. Hi, guys. I'm going to text Terry. Terry called me and was like, you need to call me and text me.
Indeed, that's all of you. Okay. All right, I've received another note from the jury indicating that y'all have still not been able to reach a unanimous decision. I caution you again, don't tell me which side, for lack of better words, winning. But what's the score? Has the score changed any? No. Score has not changed any? Do you feel that, and I'm sort of directing this to all the jurors, not just Mr. Williams, but do you think that further deliberations, do you think any chance of any further deliberations moving the needle anywhere? Do you think further deliberations will be any use or not? Don't be bashful. Speak out, shake your head, whatever you think anyway. I see some of you shaking your head no. I see a lot of you shaking your head no.
Mistrial.
Y'all just bear with me one just second. Well, I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm not gonna send you back if the needle hadn't moved any and you don't think there's any chance of it. If it was a 10-2 vote, 11-1, 9-3, even maybe 6-6 as far as you can get anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say I appreciate y'all's service.
Oh, yep, mistrial it is, you guys.
We all knew going in this was going to be a tough case. It's going to take some of your time, and it's going to be a difficult case. I appreciate your service. Y'all be free to go. If you need an excuse for work or anything, y'all stop down in Miss Nowicki's office and see if they'll give you an excuse. If you want to talk to anyone about your jury service, you're free to do so.
You're free to come on Couch Court with Llama.
Anyone about your jury service, tell them you don't want to talk about it. I don't have any reason to think they would persist in asking questions, but if they do, you get in touch with me or one of these court officials, and we will put a stop to it, okay? I don't have any reason to expect any way to have any repercussions for your jury service whatsoever. But thank you. If you need that work excuse or anything, stop off in Miss Nowicki's office, and y'all go. Thank you for your service, and y'all have a good evening, okay?
Wow. I figured that we're going to just see what the lawyers say after this. His lawyer's probably going to ask to dismiss charges with prejudice, meaning he can't be tried again. I don't know if he'll be granted that. Probably not, but that's a normal thing to say after this. This does not surprise me at all. Well, it surprises me that it's 6-6.
Declared mistrial. Y'all consult your calendars about when you may want to, if and then you want to retry this case. I got my wagon loaded between now and the first of the year, but sometime after the first of the year, if y'all wish to have a retrial, I will. I'll get with you and get on calendars anyway.
Yeah, the Kip County term is in February, and I believe that Hostile has a term at the same time. So they have to do a special session.
We burned through one Tipton County term by this case. I don't know if we can sacrifice another term. It probably needs to be outside the normal Tipton County term anyway. That's just my thoughts anyway. We've got y'all get together and look at your calendars and see this case I won't get disposed of. I'll move something on my calendar if I need to make time for this case.
Can we
Interesting.
schedule in the next week or so for the setting?
I'll be in Lafayette County. I'll be in Lafayette County week after next. No, next. I'll be in Lafayette County starting Monday all week. Mr. Hill will be there. I'm sure somebody at the DA's office will be there. If y'all need me next week, I'll be there all week. Okay.
We'll plan to set it.
Okay.
Plan to set it at a future date at that time.
Yeah, we'll see about a future date at that time. At this time, Mr. Spence will remain in custody at this time, and I'll hear any motions y'all might have. We need to have some discussions about the matters that have been introduced in the evidence, specifically the things of value. We'll entertain those thoughts. We can do that off the record after we.
Good job, touching that jacket and gun with your bare hands.
We need to decide
Prosecution.
how we're gonna do those things, okay? All right. Unless there's anything else, court be in recess, okay?
All right. Oh, wait, hold on. I get to do this. So excited. Oh, the case closed. Oh, there we go. There's the sparkles. There it is. The state would be freaking nuts if they go to retry this again. Listen, what happened to my monitor? Oh, no. What happened to my face? There we go.
The clerk's office has put everything in containers and then sealed that container.
What are they talking about?
While they've been over the weekend.
Let's just.
They're just talking about evidence.
Let's just take inventory of what we got and decide what we're going to do with it, okay?
Yes.
Okay.
And, all right. Thank everyone for y'all's
Thanks, Judge.
patience and attendance here with us.
You were fun. You were fun. We had a good time in your court. Thank you for having us, Mississippi. As I was saying, trying this case again when you had a 6-6 split means you have a shit case. That's how bad of a case you have. That's not good to go and retry this case again, in my opinion. I am surprised that it was 6-6 split to a certain degree, just because I don't know if we've watched one, me and the friends, where it's been like that split right off the gate. So I think that's you guys. Yes. Yeah, they're a mess. They're a mess. Now they may bring it to trial again, but good luck. Good luck, because you left out a lot of people that, many of us we expect to hear from as trial watchers. We know how trials work all over the place. And you kind of left out some really important people. Where's Virginia from the bank? Why didn't you call them? Why didn't you call a medical examiner? Why didn't you call a ballistic or a gun person? Any of those things would have been great. So I don't know if they have it. And they didn't have any of his family testify either, which is strange in my book. I mean, family is there for sort of the emotional side, to be honest. But as much as the defense was talking shit about Kirby's character, the prosecution really should have put up some of his family to humanize the victim more, because the defense, I mean, they were like, he's into this and he's into this and he's abusive and blah, 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 blah. So it's very weird that they didn't do that. DNA we don't even know if DNA was tested. I would like to think so, because they did. For the shotgun, remember, they found soul. They found some soul on the end of the shotgun that they sent to the FBI to see if they could, compare it to the mud dirt in Mississippi, and it came back inconclusive. So I guess maybe they tried some things, but either they got literally nothing back or they didn't at all. I don't know, because dirt is very hard evidence-wise to match up, which makes me think they didn't have much of anything. Right? Cell towers. We know that they downloaded the phones, yet we saw very little on their phones. Where, if you're going to sit there and tell me that Caitlin called her dad a whole bunch between the 29th and the 30th, why didn't we see the phone call logs? Because you're just telling us that that's what happened. But we also, the prosecution was a little, they were a little sneaky, I think, by being with the counterfeit money. Oh, whoa, we found all this money. We found all this counterfeit money. Blah, blah, blah. And it ended up being prop money, which is not counterfeit money. I understand where they're coming with that, but that's why he doesn't have federal charges, because it's legally not counterfeit money, right? Car data, right. It seemed like Kirby had a pretty new truck by the looks of his lifestyle. Anything in there, anything in Kirby's phone at all that would point in any direction we know that the time of death does sound legit, right? He never used his phone after then. He seems like a guy that uses phone. But remember when they had the Cellbrite guy, who was also the coroner at the time, he said that in Jeff's phone alone was 24,000 pages of information. And I believe that Karen's was like 17,000 or 11,000, somewhere around there, which is a lot. And yet we see nothing. Remember, they were all originally charged with conspiracy. I think they took conspiracy away because they didn't prove literally anything at all. It does sound like a crap investigation. It does. And listen, this did happen in a very small town. All right. 200 people, where everybody has like 7 jobs. So I don't think it was necessarily the best, but then they also had 2 days to cover things up or make things look a certain way. But they didn't have the case for me. Not at all. I mean, sure, it probably seems like it could be him, but sorry. I see the mom and the sisters are. Oh, the mom is like wailing in court. Oh my God, that's heartbreaking. I know. I feel a lot for the family right now that they didn't get answers. But here's the thing, is you want justice to be actual justice. And I don't know that even if Jeff was found guilty, I don't know if I would call it justice. Going off vibes, yeah, he's guilty. It sounds like it. But it also could have been the other people that literally threatened his life, who he had more inner workings with. And why didn't they call David? David Barnes, the person they talked about all the freaking time. Well, we didn't. I think the prosecution said in their closing that they didn't call him because of his criminal history, and they didn't want him to be like embarrassed about it. What? Are you serious? Oh, it's so sad for all of them. I wonder though, what would Because remember, the daughter pled guilty, got a plea deal to testify. The mom went ahead and pled guilty, was already sentenced. She got probation out of it, which, I mean, considering what they had, oof, you know, but that's for the jury to decide. That is true. That is true. Heartbreaking for them. Heartbreaking. And, you know, I hope Carolyn, the estranged daughter, she did her best. You know, I very much believe everything that Carolyn said. I just hope that she is able to have them leave her alone and stay safe and have a happy life with Giovanni and what I'm sure are beautiful children, and that she keeps the no contact with her family, because her family sounds like they suck. They're awful. But the state, in my opinion, let this family down. Very much let this family down. So, well, you guys, that's that and mistrial. Do you guys think that they're going to try it again? The state dropped the ball. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. They seemed a little like, oh, well. I mean, even the daughter, what she testified to, in my opinion, was not good enough for a plea deal, if that was the case. What? Her conversation with her dad, that was really just like an interpretation? You know, that wasn't really much of anything. That's too bad. But Jeff does have to stay in jail until they decide what they're doing next. So Buffy says, I hope if they have a retrial, they bring more. I don't know if there is more. I don't know if there is more, because if so, why didn't they bring it? You know, I kind of wonder if like they didn't bring the bank lady because, you know, them being down there for like 3 to 4 months, there's a good chance, you know, that Jeff went to that bank for something. You know, that too. I don't know anything about working at a bank. I also don't know anything about having a lot of money. But wouldn't they be able to, in some way, shape, or form, trace any of the money? Okay, so they found the bands from the bank, right? Would they be able to trace any of those serial numbers to the bank and which day they went out and who those specific dollar bills or, you know, money bills went to that day? Is that a possible thing? Is that how banks work? I don't know. Again, I'm a broke ass bitch. I don't know what it's like to be, you know, getting so much cash that it has bank bands around it. I don't even know how much cash that even means. So, but I would need more things like that. You know, I would need proof that he never went to that bank. Did they even have the ball to drop? Right. Lady Grace says, I missed it. And so did Jenny O. Yes, you guys. I'm sorry you did miss it. It was very, very short. The jury was deadlocked 6-6. They came in earlier this afternoon at, I want to say around 3:34 my time, something like that. Excuse me. And said they were deadlocked. The judge sent them back, and then they just came up again, and they all said, we're not going to change our mind. So the judge just decided to do that. Are they sequential? Like the money, right? I feel like there's a way to go about that, I feel, but I don't know. What do I know? Amos says, if it is illegal cash, would they even use a bank? Well, I mean, I don't know. Depends what you're selling, what you're wheeling and dealing. I don't know. You know, like let's say you need to do legal things to cover up your illegal business, if that makes sense. So in some ways you do want to deal with a bank, but you want it to be for legitimate reasons. So I don't know. I don't know. Lady in Gray says, I'm not surprised of a mistrial. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. I like just 8. So we were 7-5 on our votes by percentage. So that tracks. Yeah. Yeah. So there's no way to really trace cash then. Okay. I was just, because banks get all new money. I'm pretty sure they can at least initially trace which bank gets what money. I mean, like when somebody goes to rob a bank, right? We know robbers who, take money, and then it's because of the serial numbers that they were able to determine, what bank that, came from. So I don't know. But these are things that if I was a juror, that I would want to know. Buffy says not always. She did work at a bank. Okay. I mean, I don't know zippy zap about any of that at all. But I do think as much as that Mr. Attorney Man was over the top, he actually did a pretty good job with this client, pointing out some really big discrepancies that the jury, I think, definitely took note of, right? Because when we're first listening to everything, that's in the safety deposit boxes, we're all like, yeah, okay, buddy, that's not great. It's not great, not great, not great. And then, his his attorney pointed out, we don't know when that stuff went in, which is true. We don't know how much of anything was in there. They stopped in there a lot. So Buffy says, and there is dummy money that is traceable. Oh, but he didn't rob a bank. Marty Bird. And you don't log bills. Okay. All right. So basically the answer to that is no. That's not how that works. Okay. All right. Well, the more you know. Lady in Gray says, normally I say the defense does a good job with what they had, but in this case, there wasn't much for either side to hang their hat on. No, I agree. But the attorney, I mean, the attorney did do better than the state, I think, persuasion-wise, and the points that they tried to make. In my opinion, I thought he did a pretty decent job. I still wouldn't want him as my lawyer. But again, I mean, he's the one who, with the counterfeit bills, was like, got them out. And it was like, boom, it's prop money. Cut the games, sir. Sounds like a Llama Learns topic. Yes, it does, right? This Sunday will be our first Llama Learns for members that are besties and higher. I'll be asking you guys here soon for suggestions on what we're going to learn about on Sunday. I already have, what was it called? A Zoogaroo on my list to learn more about. So Lady in Gray says the defense attorney did a good job, but yeah, I don't want him either. No. And they didn't even figure out like who broke into the National Guard armory, who broke into the attorney's office. Oh, I mean, yes, Angie, it was a mistrial. Deadlock 6-6. They said, nope, we're not going to change our minds. And so they declared a mistrial. So, which again, isn't the norm normally, right? They would be like, nope, you're going to go debate some more. But I think the fact that the split was so even, you're kind of wasting everybody's time, because that just says a lot about the case in general. So, it's one thing to have a few, I'm not so sure. This one, it seemed like everyone was very much, no, you're not going to convince me of how I feel. So Lady in Gray says, are we going to give you the topics on air for Llama Learns? No. I will post something for the members to leave their suggestions, and then I'll close that on Friday. And the only reason is so that way somebody can kind of pull the resources together to, kind of put them in order for me. So I also know what we're kind of looking at there. So how does the attorney office not have cameras, right? Because it was more than just his office. It was a shared space he was talking about there. So crazy. And did they take the attorney's gun too? If I remember right, I feel like the attorney said he had a gun, but I can't remember if he said they took it. I think they did. Very close to our poll, Angie. Very close. Jenny O says, so new trial. Well, I can tell you the next 2 trials I'm interested in covering that I won't be covering a new trial this week at all. We'll have to see about the following week. But in October, the 2 trials I'm most interested in is, October 14th begins Mississippi versus Bryson Rivers, which I wasn't expecting to be televised, but this one was, and Bryson Rivers is way more kind of well known than this one was. So fingers crossed. I believe Amos messaged the the court to see, but they haven't said they said they don't know. So there's that. The other one is Brian Walsh, which starts. Oh, there's 3. I forgot. Brian Walsh starts October 20th. He's Massachusetts. I'm thinking because of the new evidence they just got from the federal government regarding Michael Proctor's shenanigans, which they said was thousands of pages. I really feel like there's a good chance they might do one more continuance for Brian Walsh, and then they'll probably do trial in January or something like that. I don't know. If you want somebody to have a fair trial, listen, I am not a Brian Walsh supporter. Okay, that guy looks guilty AF. All right, everything points to that guy being guilty AF. But even when you think somebody is that guilty, you still want the trial to be a fair trial. And I think because of all the shenanigans that we learned about through Karen Reed regarding Michael Proctor, MSP, all of their bullshit, we need to make sure that Brian Walsh's trial is fair. So that way Anna Walsh, his wife, gets the justice she deserves too. And I think they need to continue the trial to at least January, just to be sure, because this is one person where I don't have really any questions about what he allegedly did. So that's October 20th. And also October 20th, if that one doesn't go to trial, there's Virginia. What was his name? Brendan Banfield, the au pair murder. He's in Virginia. Don't know if that one's going to be televised or not. So those are the 3 big ones. So I'm trying to leave my court schedule kind of open for those specifically because I'm really interested in all of them. And I don't want to pick up a case that's going to overlap. And, so I don't know of really any big ones in between then. But I do plenty of other stuff on the channel. We will be doing Fridays. We'll read our Chad Daybell letters from death row because why not? We might have a few days of other random, court stuff here and there, but I don't think I'll be doing a trial, at least for sure, this week. So no offense, but mistrial takes too long. Will the attorney still be around? I don't know. You'd have to get a new one, huh? Yeah, Buffy said, I have so many questions, as do I. As do I. So 6 went with reasonable doubt and 6 went with their feelings. I mean, that's just how, juries go. But, that's our system. And, I think that's just fine. So I wouldn't mind seeing this judge again in the future. Yes, you're right. I would. He was fun. He was a nice guy. Oh, you were talking about Massachusetts. I don't know why I said it like that. I don't know why I just said it. It might not be, but I think, I don't know. I think it would be wise if they just did one more. I mean, this is an old case. It does need to go to trial, but I don't think we need to leave any room for error for Brian Walsh, specifically that guy. Okay. we can't be doing that. So we'll see. I believe that they have court again, I think on the 5th for what's his name, Walsh, something like that. I think October 5th is when they have court again. Oh, and there's also, let's not forget, the 14th when Bryson Rivers' trial is supposed to start. Also sentencing for Donna Adelson. So we're definitely going to watch that. 7th. Thank you, Angie. I knew it was next week. It's the 7th. I think we'll have the 7th a good for sure of whether or not Brian Walsh is happening or not. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys. Like I said, for Couch Court, I'll see you all Friday at 11 a.m. when we read more of Chad Daybell's letters. Yay. Otherwise, you won't see me again till Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, where Terry and I will be finishing up part 2 of the John Pillow Pyro Ore story for True Crime and Wine Time, and it's going to be a doozy. There's lots to learn in that one. I'm pretty excited about it. Then Friday is going to be our first public show for Too Much Internet, TMI. It's a show we've been putting on for members on Fridays, but the first Friday of every month is for everyone on the channel to see what it's all about, and I'm very excited to have fun with all of you where, there's no high stakes, no real consequences. And then Sunday, as I said, for members only, is going to be the very first Llama Learns About. And I'm excited for that too. So that's what we'll be doing. Oh, hello, Kimbers. Hello, Mistrial, babe. Mistrial 6-6 deadlock. That's crazy, huh? Yeah, for the Rivers case, still has no media requests. Somebody needs to do something about that because it's very important. I'm surprised Tennessee hasn't put in media requests, to be quite honest, because Tennessee is in hot water in that case. The whole state of Tennessee. Yes, you heard. So I don't know. Let's see. Oh, I wouldn't bother going back. It was literally like 2 seconds. Yeah. Isn't it crazy, Kimbers? 6-6 deadlock, and they were all like, "We ain't changing our mind." So they just let him go. Yeah, I didn't find it that surprising either, but you never know, though. Juries can be unpredictable. You just never know. Oh, is that glitter in my hair from my nail polish? Probably. All right, kiddos. Well, I'm going to go. Terry says, can I say traffic in LA is insane? Yeah, I'll never go. No, thank you. Can't even believe you're driving around in it. Oof, ugh, gross. I'll see you in a little bit, Terry. I know, the glitter. The glitter. I'll tell you what, though. This is some good glitter. Of all the glitters I got, I did get a bunch of new nail polish from Amos for my birthday. But Terry got me this glitter, this Sally Hansen Insta Dry. That's confetti pop. And let me tell you what, this stuff goes on super well and super thick. Like, it really holds that nail polish on for a long while. So just to let you know. Yes. All right, guys. I'm going to go for this evening. Oh, tomorrow. It's definitely glitter. Do you see that just popping up there? If you miss us and you want to hang out with us, please come join our Discord server, the Courtyard. That's where everybody hangs out when we're not live. Quite a few of the people you see in chat over there. Tomorrow in the Courtyard, I will be streaming part 1 of season 6 of Lost. Me and my Losties are going to get together, and then we got some other cool stuff on the way over in the Discord. So go join that. Come hang out. And if you don't know how to use it, that's okay. Just ask. Everybody there is super helpful, super nice. We were all newbies once, and we'll do our best to help you get the hang of it. But until next time, you guys, thank you so much for being here, watching this trial, which was interesting. I definitely don't regret picking this one up. What a wild ride, guys, right? All right. Until next time, everyone, go forth and be amazing. Bye, guys.